for Christmas this year. Just kidding. Welcome back. I have got a really fun Christmas decorate with me video for today. This is going to be using all thrifted decor, things that I've collected over the years and this year, as well as a lot of DIYs that you guys saw last week, some thrift flips, as well as 2 more new ones that you can do with some things in your kitchen you might already have. So let's go ahead and do this, but I just wanted to mention the first bit of this video is going to start off with chaos. I hope that this shows some relatability, but this is just the season of motherhood that I'm in because my kids wanted to help with this. So brace yourself. But I really hope that you guys can get some ideas and be inspired, and I absolutely love how cozy this space is feeling. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, we've got our work cut out for us today. We had 14 people last night, including us, for Friendsgiving. Today is actually Thanksgiving. So we're gonna bust out the Christmas decorations. The boys are gonna help me put away all of fall, and then we are going to get to it. We're so excited. There was a lot more put together last night, and the boys just had their breakfast here. But something I used last night on the table was these. I'll show a picture of how it looked last night, but I am gonna use these in our decor for Christmas. So I thought it would transition well from Thanksgiving tablescape to a Christmas decor in lots of different ways. So just like in my Christmas decor that I'm going to show you, this tablescape was on a thrifty budget. Everything here I pretty much had and just kind of pieced together. The only thing I did need to buy was the tablecloths because we pulled in our patio table to make this table super long. The fabric in the center was some fabric that I bought for the boys' bed skirt that I just haven't made yet. And then the eucalyptus we bought a while ago at the farmer's market. It's dried super nice, thrifted candlesticks, and those orange slices, which I'm going to be using today in lots and lots of Christmas decorations. So I hope that I can give you lots of ideas of how to get a high-end look without breaking the bank this year. Why do I do this to myself with kids? They're entertained for a hot second. So let me show you what I have pulled out. Most of this stuff, almost all of it, is thrifted. If you hear tapping, it's because they're playing with some dominoes over here. But what I've pulled out is the DIYs that I showed you guys last week. So you guys have already seen these styled. I haven't styled them yet though. And I've also pulled out some things that I've gotten at the Goodwill bins. Some other, like these are thrift finds. Some candles and stuff that I've just had for a while. I did pick up this ribbon at Hobby Lobby it was 40% off, I believe, of $8.99. And I've also pulled out some of the oranges that I used last night, just like some random greenery that kind of works for all seasons. And then these are all of my bins for Christmas. This might seem like a lot or a little to some of you all, but this is what we got, is what we're working with. I'm gonna try to not buy anything new this year, just use what I have. This angle is great because it covers up all the dirty dishes in the sink that I'm putting off. This is my theme for Christmas this year. My decor style, just kidding. It's the pillow inside. So I thrifted this pillow at the Goodwill bins. I washed it and just stuck it inside like a neutral pillowcase, and we've been using it on the guest bedroom bed. But I love the colors in this, how there's just like a sparse amount of red. Of it is just like greens and neutrals. So I love this green. I got some velvet ribbon to match this so we can kind of tie it all together. That's the plan. I have had a lot of new subscribers lately, and to be honest, whenever that happens, usually after one video does really well, I start to get a bit more concerned about my content not being perfect or good enough. I want to bring this up as I show you my decorating for 2 reasons. First, I always try to be honest and inspiring with you guys, but secondly, I really think that this perfectionist mindset reveals some deeper truths that I want to be aware of and remind myself of, especially during this Christmas season. In my life, I've always noticed how perfectionism paralyzes me and reveals how much fear I have of failing, not measuring up to the standards I've set for myself or believe society has. I know there is a lot of pressure around the Christmas season, and if you are feeling some of that, I can relate. As a Christian, this season matters more than the decor and gifts and family pictures. There is a pressure I am feeling to pour the truths of this season into my own heart and into the heart of my 4-year-old. But just as the decorating, hosting, and gifting, I am still figuring out so much as a mother in this season, and certainly fumbling along the way. In Proverbs 3:5-6, we hear, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." This has been my remedy to my own perfectionism through this season. I can only do so much. The rest is in the Lord's hands. I can just set the table for the Lord to work, open my home for conversations to occur and love to be shared, but I can't know how that's going to happen. I can just acknowledge him through my work and trust him to do the rest. So this video might not be the most beautiful, best one you've ever seen. I am just showing up and doing what I can this year, leaving perfectionism at the door, and I hope that you can take that into your own season too. I think all of the items that we choose for our home become sacred in a sort of way. Just try to get rid of something that your kid has been so used to seeing in their house for their whole life, and you will know what I mean by this. But I think that especially around the holidays, it is so special to bring back the things that we have used previously in different years and just rearrange them in different ways. So this year I'm taking a more whimsical approach to my holiday decorating and trying to incorporate a little bit more color. So I found these ribbons at Hobby Lobby. They are small velvet ribbons, and I incorporated them throughout my entire home just to provide a little bit of consistency. I also found this wired floral ribbon. I don't even really know what to call this, but I found this at Hobby Lobby in the floral section, and I ended up loving the versatility of it. I used it like you saw over the mirror. I wrapped some of my candlesticks that I use throughout the year to make them look a little bit more festive, and then once I get to my dining room, you'll see how I used it on my chandelier. So things like this that can be used in many different ways, I think are really great things to add into your seasonal decor so that you can have that versatility as you keep going. Now, I do collect small little nativity sets, and they're always special to me. So we always leave the baby Jesus out of them and then add baby Jesus in on Christmas morning. It's just a fun tradition that I do with my kids. And I went around and just kind of added some little stems that I've collected from wreaths in past years and used those oranges that I made for Thanksgiving tablescape all around. I love the pop of color and the consistent element that they bring to some of my kind of random decor that I've collected over the years, and they also smell really good. I used wire ornament hooks as floral wire, pretty much, to attach them onto my wreaths, and then a piece of velvet with a little push pin on the back of my cabinets to add these wreaths to most of my cabinets and closets around the house as well. This frame that I'm showing you, I realized I really have not shown you much of at all. And the reason for that is because it does not get very good lighting, natural lighting in here. Thankfully, my dad did recently add some recessed lighting, which has been a game changer in here and actually makes it feel so much cozier in a place that we want to be. But this is our den room, you could say, is where we have our TV, and we have a table in this corner where the kids like to do lots of crafting. So all of their crafting is stored in that large cabinet that was left by the previous owners of our home, and I absolutely love. So I created this kind of like kids area space that's very fun for them. They love this banner. And then that's our advent calendar over there. It is from Gather. I can link it down below. My mom got it for us last year, and I plan to use it forever and ever because it is such good quality and so versatile. I got this tablecloth to help kind of just brighten up this area, but we won't have it on here all the time, honestly, because this is usually covered in Play-Doh and markers. And then for this couch area where we sit to watch TV, I wanted to add a bunch more blankets, so I went with kind of a blue and white and red and white theme to just bring a lot of cheerful colors into here and make it feel super cozy. I love the way that this looks in here, but this room is not my favorite still, and I have some big plans for it. So stay tuned because there might be an upcoming makeover in this space as well. On this little pegboard that I use to hide all of our control panels over here, I typically just have a bunch of hats on here, which perfectly covers up all of these control panels. But I added some dried eucalyptus as well as some dried gingerbread cookies that we made last year in this little sign that we got at Target. And I think it looks really, really sweet. You can see this in my kitchen leading to the laundry room, and it's just over the kids' little toy kitchen thing. I think these little peg racks are just the perfect cottage touch, and for this one is very functional to hide those control panels. So moving on to my dining room, I have this sideboard, which I had a table runner on for Thanksgiving, and I actually really enjoyed having that pop of white there to kind of break up all of the wood in this corner. So I left that there, and then you guys saw me DIY that lamp. This is another one of my teeny tiny little nativity scenes. This one is the smallest thing ever, and I think it is just so precious. So I put out these and then also added some ribbons onto these candlesticks that my mother-in-law got me from Home Goods, I believe. And I think that this little sideboard is just really whimsical, vintage, and just filled with treasures that we have collected and curated over the years. So I'm keeping our dining room table super simple, and I added this thrifted candlestick that looks like a horn. One of you guys actually told me that it's a candlestick. I thought that it just hung on the wall, so thank you guys. And then I also created this little arrangement with a stem that I've had for a while in a little thrifted jar, and added some of the eucalyptus in there as well. And this is how I used that floral wire that I talked about earlier. This is pre-Advent starting, but once Advent starts, we will put out a traditional 4-candle purple and pink wreath. So now moving on to the 2 DIYs that I have for today. So the first one is creating a cranberry garland. This was super simple, and if you have not made one of these before, I highly recommend it because it is extremely affordable. I believe that this bag of cranberries, which gave us a really nice good length, honestly, was less than $2, and then the string was like $1. I mean, and I used barely any of it. So this is waxed thread that I'm using, and I just have a nice thick needle on there. I will say that keep in mind how difficult it's going to be to thread that needle when you purchase your thread. You might be better off just using normal thread so that you can actually get it through the eye of the needle easily. But this looked beautiful, and I hung it up in my kitchen in the doorway. I'm really trying to focus on the doorways and where the eye leads between rooms. I think this helps create a very finished, beautiful, cozy home that makes you feel like you want to keep walking through each door. And this little garland really perfectly framed our dining room, which you can see from the kitchen. This next DIY is one that I have actually never seen before this year, and I found this on Instagram, and so I'm just creating like a little coffee bar area. This is a great idea to add a little bit of a cozy festive touch if you don't have space for a full-on coffee bar. Just add a cutting board, maybe a little art print back there. I DIY'd this one last week. You guys saw I added a little bit of garland, and then what we're going to do with these oranges is turn them into pomegranate balls. I think that is how you say it. So I found this idea on Instagram, like I said, and the video I saw didn't pre-punch the holes, but I would recommend doing that since this definitely hurt my fingers a little bit after a while. I did go in and add a little bit of this paper ribbon that I found at IKEA last year, and I really love how this turned out. So these add a little bit of a festive touch into this corner, and they smell amazing as well. I know behind me you're getting a little sneak peek of the final reveal of this space, but before I show you that, I want to ask you guys to like this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you are going to use any of these ideas. I love hearing from you guys. I will have a few more things to add throughout this season. I actually am going to sit down and do a thrift haul right now of some more Christmas decor that I found last week. So come back next week so that you can see that one, and I might have a few more DIYs up my sleeve. But let me go ahead and reveal this piece. I know that the Christmas season can be full of noise and busyness, and I just wanted to mention that I will be starting an Advent devotional personally around Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. So I'm going to go ahead and put that scripture on the screen while you watch these reveal clips in my home, and I hope that you can feel some sense of calm as you read these words and listen to this beautiful song.
Heavy, come to me. My yoke is easy, so come to me, all you weary. Lay down your head, I'll give you rest. Keep me close, lest you forget. I'll give you rest. Stay with me, close to me, in the shadow of my wings. Walk with me, next to me. If you fall